Hello. Hello. Hey, audible?
Hello? I didn't hear you. It worked somehow.
Oh,
In my headphones now, see if that works or not. Yeah, I think you hear me.
yeah, I hear you. It's on the
Okay. Okay, now it's working.
no. Maybe it's a phone.
Yeah, never had an issue with WebEx before, but it doesn't matter. Sorry about
Waiting for Nazi to join.
that.
Are you both at the same location or?
Texas, but him, he's in Chicago.
Or
I don't know if he came. Oh, just give me 1 second. Ram is calling. Hey, I hear her speaking. Yeah, no. Now it's something. He said, I think we're still in Texas, I think. I mean, in Chicago, sorry. Actually, yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Oh, okay. Then I could have, helped him, but I think he's planning to come down. Yeah, but I don't know. Anyways, so like, remember you said to go through those tutorials, like up to 9?
alright.
Yeah, so I tried to do some of them, right? Because so you're supposed to go to accounts.google.com. Back in the days, it was like you enter your ID and then you enter your password, But it's just like you enter your ID and then the page loads and then you go to your password page, Two separate pages, so you can't. Another scenario about entering the wrong email address and the password address, Tried to do it in a way where it actually worked, but there were some cases where I couldn't make it work, So I tried.
So try to automate it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, but it came out so good, because the script I think is probably old for this, maybe.
Okay.
Then sometimes, because my Gmail is saved on the page, so I already have it stored, So I removed one, but then the one I couldn't remove for some reason, Yeah, trouble with the find button. The it would give me an error, so I don't know if I was looking at the wrong thing in the fire path or something. I don't know. Something was wrong. Yeah, but I work like the XPath. I know a little bit, understood that, and then to find like the text box or the radio button. I mean, use what do we call that?
So you tried using a Selenium IDE or?
Yeah, Selenium ID. I have Selenium ID and I have Firebug downloaded.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you have Firebug downloaded, so do you have any working experience already?
No, no, I don't have any.
Ram said one of you is having a little bit of working experience.
Working experience, but not as in not in a QA, I'm okay with computers and stuff, so I don't think that should be an issue for me, you know.
Sure thing.
Yeah, I learned a little bit of Java too. It's the core Java, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, but then
if
yeah, basics you can't really like ever like do something with the basics because there's nowhere and they're gonna teach you basic stuff, you know.
mm-hmm.
What you learn and then that's what you put inside. But it's like with them, I'm expecting this or scripts too, maybe or something, whatever. The more you do, that you get used to it, you know.
Okay. So I just try to install my Firebug.
Mm-hmm.
Something is wrong.
I think
It says deactivated.
yeah, I think I downloaded Firebat. Let me check.
Okay, the default. Oh no, what's wrong? No, 51, so 51 version doesn't support Firebug. I have to have 47 or less.
Oh,
No problem.
so you have to down.
Sorry?
So you've downgrade your Firefox?
Yeah, I'll have to downgrade. It's okay.
Yeah. 1 second. No sound.
Um, Z has joined, submit on audio. Okay. Okay. Where is he?
Don't know. So I'm trying to get his audio working like us.
Yeah, this is part of manual training, which we are not going so deep. But if you want some knowledge about what is testing,
Right.
come on.
You can hear us now.
Your voice is very low. It's very, very feeble. I can hear you, but it's very feeble actually. Your settings and so you. Yeah, here. So this is where you can get little bit information about manual testing. One I can share the link, and like if you guys wanna through, this will be helpful only during interviews. And working on real time, we are not bothered about all these definitions. Okay. Uh, we actually look into very few of these things. There are a heck lot of lists. We'll be looking only into a few things. Okay. Am I audible to you?
Yeah.
Okay, then. So, do you have any prior working experience related to this, like software testing?
Yeah, I have a concept about manual testing, PLC, and other whatever serial test types of testing.
Oh, okay, sure. So these topics will be mostly useful for interviews. Not going to implement these things anywhere in your practical work life. So only a few things which you are going to use is the testing, unit testing, which is usually done by developers after developing a small or a module, and integration testing. Most of time we will be working on this. Someone asks you to test module because have added a new feature. You'll have to test the new feature as well as you have to test it is affecting any existing module. So the test
Integration testing happens after every new build.
every minor change will do a batch of regression testing. After that, after the entire thing has been developed, we will deploy it in some standard servers. So we'll do system testing. Like complete system is done, we'll do the system testing. After system testing, user acceptance testing will come into picture, and the end user or the client will validate his own test cases. Okay. So doing testing, we have a few different types of testing, like functional testing. Functional testing means the functionality actually is uh, functionality actually what it is being developed. That functionality we will be testing. The actual requirements given by the client should match. Okay, when doing non-functionality testing, this is something like in the background, you link your application to some database. Okay, this is not something given by the client, the requirement given by the client. But in order to fulfill his requirement, we will have to do this. Something like any direct requirement that we need to fulfill. That all comes under non-functional requirements, like additional fulfillments. Okay, then comes compatibility testing. Like your application should be compatible to Chrome, it should be compatible to Mozilla, compatible to Internet Explorer, Safari, Opera, whatever browser I'm going to use, it should be compatible to that. So it should be compatible to any operating system on any version of Windows or any variant of Linux. Or so your application should be compatible on all the platforms. Okay, platform the operating systems, different operating systems. Also, it should be compatible to various screen resolutions. Okay, I'll change my screen resolution. I'll make it okay. Things visible. I'll make it bigger. Okay. In this case, I should be still able to see what I'm working on, not to break. Okay. I'll be changing my font size. I'll be changing my browser zoom. I'll be able to see the application. For example, if you see this is being here, it is being cut off like this when I zoom in, right? So those things should not happen when I change my resolution thing and compatibility. We have various types of performance testing. For example, my application and I give it to my client. My client says he has 100 team members who already use the application, but my application may not support a simultaneous use by 100 clients. Okay, the performance of my application is bad. When I click on something, any link or example, I have this link. When I click on some link, it should redirect to it within 3 seconds. It should not take more than that. It should not be slow. Provide a good internet connection. Okay. And then we have load testing. I told you, like 100 users are trying to access your application and it should not break. Okay.
Sure.
Then there are times when my application might break because the connection to the database has been broken internally, or my database server is different and my actual application is on a different machine. So there is no internet access to database machine due to some electrical maintenance or something. So immediately after my database starts running back, my application should recover. It would come back to the database immediately without my intervention. Okay, so I break connections and test if it is being recovered. So break it. Okay, then we have installation testing. Like you have Mac, Android, you have Windows, any platform, you should be able to install your application if in case you are giving an exe like MS Office package or something. Okay, let's to install it in any platform. The globalization testing. There are scenarios. For example, I have one location, like US, and I move to a location like China where Google is not allowed. So they should not be able to access. So I have to change my machine's location manually, saying from here that I'm in China. My time to a different thing, and then I try to access Google. I should not be able to access location-based testing. Okay, there are a few other Six Sigma testing or something. These are standards like that, wherein you should make sure you have Six Sigma is something like you have 1 in 10 to the power of 6. So 10 to the power of 6 cases, only 1 can fail. That should be that perfect. Okay, that's Six Sigma. So a few standardizations like that, like L10 and all. Like login based, wrong passwords, wrong certificates, okay, non-genuine windows, something like that. This comes to security testing. We have usability and accessibility testing. Something like I have this application, this Selenium, but Selenium has been put under Java. It's not under testing. Okay, so I will go under testing. I will see I don't have Selenium. They'll think that, oh, this website doesn't support what I'm searching for, so this site is a waste. Actually, there is Selenium, but it's under some other site. It's not usable to the user actually, right? And these scenarios when things will be overlapping on each other. Advertisement will be overlapping on my course content, where I will not be able to read the course content. I will only see advertisement. So it's not usable to the user. Some those kind of scenarios are usability and accessibility testing, right? Yeah, more or less the same thing. So end-to-end testing means complete application. You have a small change in the application, but client may want you to test end-to-end. Okay, starting like from the login to original test cases to logout, you will be testing everything. Okay, and the most important things are these 3, which we usually do. Okay, regular work life. One is sanity or smoke testing. This we do. Developer says, I have just installed the application on a server. Can you please test? Okay, I'll just open it and I'll see. Okay, I have these links. I'll click on the link. Okay, it is working. Then I see so and so details. Okay, it's okay. I'll go back. I'll go forward. Everything, basic things. I try to get information. And there might be like forms, register form and all. Okay, so you'll check the basic things. They are not, your application hasn't completely broken down. You'll make sure for that. So there might be bugs in the application. There might be defects that has not met my requirements. I asked the guy to put a different font here. Okay, I asked him to put a different navigation bar. Okay, on navigation bar here, I have told him to put navigation bar here, like complete horizontal line. I asked him to remove the white spaces here, avoid the wastage. Okay, these are all bugs. Okay, these are all not counted under smoke testing. Smoke testing just make sure that your application is working fast. I mean, there might be issues, but in its place, the application is actually visible. Okay. When you launch the application, you will see sometimes 404, 404 not found. Like some days I gave, they'll say 404 not found. Okay, so it should not say this. It means the application has crashed and smoke has also failed. So test will include few basic scenarios to ensure that the application is launching properly. You have retesting, which means I have raised a bug saying I don't want this. I want them to be aligned here. Complete page it should occupy. They have that change. My bug got fixed. One defect is fixed. I'll test. I'll re-application and recheck. Keep checking it. If it is or not. It's retesting. Okay, from that I'll have to test that this content is not overlapping with the banner. Those are testing.
Test and then test and smoke test and retesting. Isn't same thing?
Smoke.
Smoke testing and retesting.
No, thing is to make sure that the application has launched at least. But you're able to see the application. Something is with a deck of okay throughout like 500 error or 404 error. Okay, everything is visible. It is visible to some extent. There may be some issues with it. There might be some defects in it, but still is accessible. So the basic scenarios like I should be at least able to log into the G. Okay, so that's smoke test to check basic functionality is working fine. Then I will check if the internal functionality is working fine. For is look okay demonstrate. I like this is rendering properly. I have a bug and this is covering my notification. I'm not able to see my notification. That is a bug. But I'm able to see something. I'm able to log in, I'm able to launch, I'm able to go around and load my news feed. Okay. Something like that. Right. So that is smoke test. Then I come and do a detailed testing, end-to-end testing. Check if this is working fine, this is working fine. Each and every detail, if I'm able to see the tutorial and all. Details, some bugs. I'll find some bugs. The requirement is given so that this comes to lower. Requirement is given saying that this is towards left, or I should see a go live option here. But okay, in that case, the live option is not present. That will be my bug. Okay, I will raise a bug in things like Jira or Enter, or there will be many tools to raise tickets. Like this, some square, you put all your bugs, like so and so thing is not working. Okay, like there were 1 lakh requests, the server dies. So this is a bug. Did I have the bug? He fixes it. Once he gets back, he'll test fixed it. Okay, open the portal and start checking if my button has come. In that, it will retest. Smoke retesting is related to bug fixes. Okay. We have version testing, which is one more important thing. I added a new called live. Okay, say that button here, because button, this functionality and everything are not working. Okay. When I click photo or video, it is saying go live. So it is mapping with existing functionality. It is existing functionality. in that is, so existing functionality when functionality has added. Functionality is added. The regression testing. Okay. Exploratory testing is something which is done at a senior level. Phase is like it's actually like I got a new application. Okay, first got to use Facebook. I'll try to explore the options. What are there? What does this do? Then does this to help? Then all this. So I'm exploring. So similarly, when you're exploring a new application as a tester, it is exploratory testing. Okay. Then you have multiple browsers. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you open all the browsers and run the same test case in all the browsers. Okay. Testing are called parallel or concurrent testing. Okay. I've already discussed. User interface. See here the main face of the application, that is UI. So to this UI also, it is rendered properly or not. Okay. Then testing. I go database. I have 10 links like Google. So on database, I stored all these links. Okay, my database should appropriately show links. Okay. And those links should reflect correctly in my UI. Cross-checking my application against a given database. That's database testing. For doing database testing, you should be able to do any kind of thing. Query are in SQL for database. So database testing mostly concentrates around compatibility, security. We have seen all these. Okay. Then testing. Engines, I mean, a self-explanatory item again. Like it will last very long. I have the application which will work only for 1 month. After 1 month, it is crashing. That happens. It the application will do work as long as possible, not 1 month, not too short. So that is endurance. Next, work models like waterfall. The most common and running model is agile model. Right. Agile model means is the basic context only. So period like 4 months. Okay. I have some time to develop my application. So I will break this into 1 week each. Okay, it's 1 week. I have to develop all features and dip them into a server. Okay, I'll have every month has 4 weeks. I'll have 16 weeks. So I have 16 sprints. Sprint is nothing but a period of time. I take 1 week. I might take 2 weeks. I might take 10. That project to project. The period might vary. Okay. During the sprint, we have everyday progress tracking. How much work done, how much is left over. And are not able to finish some designated time that moved to next sprint. Okay, this is how it works in Agile. And in Agile, when the user starts developing, his features, the tester write test cases. In and we may not have specific record documents. They say minimal documentation. Okay. So we write test cases as the developer starts his development process. With that, we all together will vision of what features are going to be developed, which is called the requirement discussion analysis. Okay, during that requirement analysis itself, you have to capture the requirements. You will not get further implementation after that. Okay, for example, if it is 1 week, the developer will get like 2 days. Okay, the tester will get 1 day to test. Okay, testing, he should also report whatever he sees or deviations from requirements. Once he reports, then the dev will again fix the issues. Okay, issues have been raised by the tester, the dev will fix them. So you have to retest. Okay. So these two things, when like half a day, the final D-Day, it will be deployed. Again, the next sprint starts.
What kind of testing will be after the bug? Is that gonna be like the testing, or it's gonna be regression?
Okay, got it. Here we were doing new feature testing and regression testing. These two and performance testing. Then here it is this one. Remember? Okay. After this, after the final deployment, you will do smoke testing to check if the application has been deployed fine. Okay, test the entire application here.
Just the basic.
And we know that some bugs here that may or may not fix all of them. Okay, so we'll fix only few of these issues. Okay, so we'll test whatever has been fixed, and when deploying, you can make sure the fixed things are at least coming fine. Sprint 2, and the same thing repeats. They'll pick few more features, they will develop, you'll test cases. Once develop, you'll test them. So the cycle keeps repeating. Right? And this will be mostly about manual testing that we need to know for real-time working. Okay. But I have made an entire list of topics which will be helpful when you are working for interviews. Okay. You can get most of the information on Google for these. It will be self-explanatory, but for working, this is not required. So to test your knowledge on something, they will have to ask you, right, what you know, what you don't know. So they'll just ask shit which is not actually implemented. Right.
QA, right? Like, who do you work most oftenly with? Like a project manager or BAs or developers or what?
More closely working with developers in the current high-speed working environment. Okay, you will have to work with developer, like you have tested something, you will that this is not working, this is not working. You have to come to the developer. Okay, even if you say it to the business analyst, he won't do anything.
And he writes the requirements.
He will give you the requirements. If you don't understand the requirements, you will go to him. Okay. So once you understand the requirements, you will start writing your own test cases or test scenarios. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So for get to testing career, writing test scenarios and test cases is very important. Okay. Scenarios.
On the business requirements, right?
Yeah, they will be based on the requirements. But there will be times, okay, when you don't get requirements. Direct application. They will come and say, I have got a requirement a week back and I started developing. I have developed and this is my first cut. This is my first present, how it looks. He'll give you this application and he will ask you to write the test case. Or developer, whoever it might be, he will just come up with a first draft of the application and you can write test cases for it. Okay. So while doing this, coming from the top corner to the right bottom corner. Okay. So I will see what is there. First is there. What is it? Is it text or a link? It is a link. What happens when I click on it? It's taking me to the home page. Okay. The next thing, like horizontally, you keep coming line by line. Okay. So my first test case will be logo should be displayed here. Logo should be shown. Okay. It will be my first test scenario. It is not a test case. It is a scenario. It is a high level scenario. Okay. Sorry. So then.
So is that mentioned in business requirement document?
Times when you may not get business requirements, you will get direct application on hand. They will
The application
have to, yes, there might be such scenarios where you just location and write your test cases.
How if there is no business document or there is no requirement available, so like in this case, Google is on left corner.
Right.
After clicking it, it takes us navigate us to the main page.
Landing page.
So how will describe this page or this act? Is it a requirement or is what not?
We cannot confirm in this scenario. We cannot confirm if this is what the client wanted and this is what the developer designed. We cannot confirm. One thing we can do is usability testing. Okay, I click here, it is going back. So is worth going back. If it is worth going back, so it's coming correctly. Is it user friendly? Okay, or usability testing. If I have requirements.
Okay. We can write a test case on this point.
Right. So right, like clicking on the logo sheet to and page. And the landing page should be either user for search other queries or something. Okay, this is my other scenario. Because business requirement document, this is how I will be writing my test case. Business requirement document, it's simple. Like you see what is written here. So error message should come here, and logo should come here, search bar should come here, something like this. You have a requirement already. The same thing you will write as a test case. Nothing new you're gonna invent from business requirement document. It will be a copy paste. Okay. That's actually quite simple. You get something, you just copy paste and put as a scenario. Okay, and you don't have a requirement document and you get something like this. Use a search bar. So my third test case will be search bar should be user should be able to search values or key, and user should be able to do search in the voice icon in the search bar. Okay, so this will be my next scenario, right? So what will be a test case? Use scenarios will be just one-liners, the summary of what you meant to say. Okay, example, just pick this. Now I want to write a test case. I have to give all these details. Okay. Step expression. There will be some columns like this, but the most important 4 columns when you write a test case. Okay. My summary will be more or less same as the the description is like logo should be clickable. Upon clicking, it directs to home page. Then home page should have third option. The more deeper you explain this, it will go into description. Okay.
So who looks at the test cases?
You as a tester should write the test cases. Writing the test cases, your developer and manager together will review the test cases. Okay. Developer and manager will make sure that you have covered all the things, you have not missed any scenario. Okay. For example, I wrote just search should be shown and user should be able to search. Then developer will come and say you have missed a scenario. If user provides spell key which does not match me, it should render matching results. Developer will come and say that this is also an additional test case, your manager will say, and this should also be validated. Okay, they'll add some scenarios if missed something, so they will review your test case.
Okay.
Okay. In steps to follow, you say first open google.com. Expect will be like the application should open. Then next step is search key. Search. Okay, the user should be able to provide text. Claim button. And button should be, sorry for my spelling mistakes,
Yeah.
clickable. Then the step has one more added expected output, that it should relate to the result page. Okay, so single search button clicking, so it should be clickable, and then it should redirect to the results page. Right, so might not have any expected output, or a step might have multiple expected outputs. Okay, and so you will go on and explain all the steps like this. I wrote a different summary here and then steps here, so don't get confused.
Yeah.
All these steps, if we are executing test case, third step,
Not audible.
I say where we are, if we are executing our test case, what we will say this terminology of the way we are executing our test case.
This we are just writing. We are just writing in the first place. Okay. After writing, your manager will review the test cases. Okay. After reviewing, changes need to be made. Okay. You will make changes. I can review.
So you wouldn't write a script for that unless it's reviewed and passed by the developer, right? So what is doing the test case, right? So you wouldn't move on to the next step, which is like, I'm guessing, scripting, right? Automation. The next step would be scripting, right? So
No. Even then, you will send for the developer for the review, and then make changes, and then send for the review, and you will start execution. Okay, you start execution. You make note of the state execution. Then you make a report and mail the report, right?
the to
Manager or client or developer, if
okay.
you have
Okay, explain what is the status of execution.
of execution means I test case like search. When I'm running these steps, I will have a call states. Okay, we'll say open google.com and expected result. Okay, my actual result. Okay, I will say open google.com. Then my status is like pass. If the output and the actual result, then pass. Then user should be able to provide a text. Actual result is like user is not able to provide uh, characters like mm, special characters. Okay, but the user should be able to provide any text. So this failed. Okay, so be my status of execution. This will be execution for each and every step. Okay, then I will have have one status which is the aggregate status of the test case. So every test case aggregated together. It is one step failed, it will be failed. If all steps are passed, then it will be passed. Okay? So this together is called status. This one.
You said all three are called. I don't know. I think your screen froze. Yeah. Status execution. Okay.
Yeah. So we're asked to update the status of execution. We should be updating all these three. This is stepwise status. This is the actual output and overall status combined together for each test case. Not step, but the entire case. Okay. So it varies again from company to company. I might be using Excel sheet. My colleague might be using a Word document like this, putting a table, and he'll be writing things like this. I might be doing the same thing using Excel sheet, which is already tabular format. There might be people who wants to use some tools like okay. Well, this case name here on the top. I highlight my mouse. Okay. Then summary. Then you have preconditions or descriptions. Something like user should have valid login credentials to run this test case. So additional requirements which he has to satisfy before starting the execution of the test case. He should have a Windows machine. He should have a Chrome browser. This test case. Okay, that will be my preconditions. Well, user should be connected to the internet. What out here in first condition is user should be connected to the internet. So some default conditions which you have to satisfy before starting your work are called preconditions. You like steps, expected result, doing it manually or automation, then pass or fail. Okay. So I'll be using a tool like this, like TestLink. Then you have to call Zephyr, which is like this. You have summary, description, then steps expected to be like this. Maybe minor changes from one tool to another tool, but the most important things, like what we discussed now. Okay? Yeah, so if you want to practice, you can continue doing this exercise, like write test cases for base google.com. Okay, starting with here, you open account here, Google, search bar, then voice, then these two buttons, then language. The languages have these options. So you can write some test cases for these. So even for the importance of test cases comes from the point that even for automating, you need test cases. You need to know what you have to do. Okay. You have a very descriptive steps to follow for automating. Okay. The reason I would like to highlight the importance of writing test case. If I would like to practice, I might write this basic, the one page, and then this is the second page. 2 pages are there in this website. Okay, you can write test cases for 2 pages. Practice, and maybe in the next session I can go through them to have a small review.
Have recording of this meeting?
Yeah, I have recorded, but I'm not sure how to make it available. I'll check that. I'll check that and share you the link.
I will, I think I have a Google account, so I think we'll share that probably.
The possible ways to share it.
Okay.
I have recorded it, but I'll check how to share it. Okay. Alright then guys, we'll see you tomorrow.
So in class every day at 11:30?
Yeah, 11.
So 7, 6 days, 7.
6 days. 6 days.
So we have Sunday class?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's has told me to schedule like.
Okay.
Okay. Chalo.
Okay.
See ya.